So I got a request for a Shadow matchup, and I have a Shadow game against one of the trophy leaders from last season, so I just wanted to show everybody. So of note, this is before my list was posted, so I was unknown, and it's a little harder for people to play around my list since it's unknown and a little easier for them. So turn one, we keep this hand, which has a growth spiral. We're pretty happy. This double teachings is looking real awkward against his draw. We still have a spiral into teachings, which means it's not the worst card ever, and maybe we can resolve it or trade it for another card against him. But he starts cycling Street Race, and we are a little in trouble here because we can't interact with the Gurmag Angler if he plays it. We try to just play this spiral around the stub, and he shadows, so that's a problem. We draw a Wilderness Wreck. It doesn't do anything. We play Growth Spiral. We draw the one of Search for his counter that we used to play. And he plays a Gurmag Angler, and we are in trouble. But he doesn't have another land, so maybe it's fine. So I hit a land this turn. I'm going to go Wilderness Wreck into Cryptic Bounces Angler, and that'll protect me for a turn. And I draw a push, so that's perfect. He does Shadow number 2, and this game is now over because I'm going to untap Teachings for Flush. And once again, before my list is posted, no one sees this coming, and the blowout is fairly real. So here comes a Devour Flush, and he scoops. Well, he's going to scoop in a second, but he scoops. Game 2. We have this hand that can kill a Gurmag Angler, so we are happy. We can't really mulligan in this matchup because he just get IOK our cards anyway, so that's fine. He thought he's going to take a snap, and he plays Death Shadow, which means we are we're in trouble because we don't have an answer for this. We draw Blue Sun, which is probably the worst card in our deck to draw at this point. I think I put out Nexus against him. You really don't need to do a lot of damage against Shadow to kill them, so making it for turns is pretty irrelevant, and he's just going to hit us for 6. We're going to fetch. We're going to pray to the gods that we find a Fatal Push and we can get it around a stub or something, but it is not looking good for this game. So we have an Opt, we also have a Snap Trophy. We find this push, which is great. So he goes for a Snap IOK. We go for the push on the Shadow. He goes for the stub. We go for the Dispel. And suddenly we are in this game. He takes the Snap, which is the correct take for sure. We beat him to death with a Tar Pit, hoping that he has nothing because we're ahead on this race. He plays a Shadow, and my hopes and dreams crumble. And the Tar Pit line is now not going to do anything. I think about it, I just tap his team, draw a card here. Don't really have a lot going on. So here I have Wilderness. That's okay. I'm going to jam the Wilderness into play, and then I'm going to chump block with this Tar Pit. I think about blue sunning myself for a while, but I think I end up just jamming this Tar Pit on the block, and then trying to see what I get next turn. So he jams. We throw our Tar Pit, praying he doesn't have removal. A lot of removal against us, so that's fine. We draw this thing, and we set up to blue sun ourselves, floating a little bit, hoping to find like a Cryptic or something. Like, I don't even know what I find at this point. I think it has to be Cryptic. Yeah, so we try to blue sun ourselves and find a Cryptic. And he snaps, and he has a stub, and we explode. Game 3. We have this nice hand. It has all of our lands. It has a curve of 1, 3, 4. We don't have to mulligan into Thoughtseize. He takes the 2 for 1. Lets me know he's trying to grind. He's not trying to go under me. We draw Wilderness Rock, which is great. Having one of this card is often the best card in your deck. IOKs, we opt trying to hit a spell that IOK does not hit. We do that successfully, and he jams a shadow at us, so that's okay. We draw this Dispel, which, it's okay. Not the best. And he goes for the beats. Of note, he only has this one Watery Grave, so that means that he can't defend against double Cryptic very well. So we're gonna pass here. I think I take a Cryptic line where I bounce the Shadow. I think I was going to take a Cryptic line where I bounce the Shadow EOT, but when he goes to jam his other Shadow, I realize it's just better to try to counter one and draw a card. Pray that resolves. We draw the Devour Flesh, which makes our counterspell on that Shadow look silly. We just fire it off anyway. He goes to 13, and that shuts off the future Shadows in his deck, which is nice. He has to find fresh lands. He finds a basic land, and he is flooding a little. And he hasn't found an Angler, so we're super happy at this point. If we can find another land, we can stick Wreck, and with the Dispel, and then Teaching Sim. If we find the other land, we stick Wreck. He has the sideboard Disdainful Stroke, and I have my choice of counterspell. I use the Spell Snare because I think it's more likely that I'm trying to protect from other things with the Dispel. I'm not really worried about Snap at this point. And then we have Teachings and Wilderness Trek going, and he's going to get buried here. So he just skips it up because he sees the end in.